Well, hello and good evening, everybody. This is Sandy at Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. And this is actually my last live in Wyoming. Well, for 2023. Because we are about to leave to Arizona this week. It has gone so incredibly fast. You know, when we first got here in the first month and a half, it seemed it was going pretty slow. But then all of a sudden, bam, 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 so much to do, gardening, painting, just everything, you know. And now we're all the way ready to go back to Arizona. It's just like, it doesn't seem like it's been 6 months, but it has been. So, welcome into the live stream tonight. And I'm just totally excited about it. It was a beautiful day today. And it was just 72 degrees, no wind, sunshiny. It was perfect. But welcome everybody. And I can see there's about 10 people on the live stream already, and we just barely got started. And so it did seem so quick. I think actually the older you get, the faster time goes. You know, you guys, what do you guys think about that? Oh, hey, John, how are you? I think that when you're young, you know, remember those days and you're in grade school and the summer just seems like forever. And then all of a sudden, you're older and it's faster and faster and faster. So it's craziness. Our heels. Oh, the wind is coming up. I think my umbrella just tipped over. Wow. Have a great time there. Now, why I heard so much about snowbirds. Now, why I heard so much about snowbirds in Arizona. You know, I never thought I'd be a snowbird ever, but my parents have been going down there for 25 years. You know, my mom was in an accident once, very bad accident. And ever since that, her hands get extremely sore and she can't move them a lot when it gets cold. And my aunt had been going down there, my dad's sister. And so they tried it. And it made a difference in her hands. And so they just kept going down there. Then Joe retires. We try it for, I think the first time we went down there and we stayed there for about 4.5, 5 months. Then we bought the little place next to my mom and dad. And this is our fourth winter going down there. So it's craziness. That's right, John. It went very fast. Unmanned Urban Homestead, hello. And Penny is in here too. And Shelly is here. Good evening, everybody. So it's been crazy busy. Today I had my last painting with Mary. It was supposed to be last Thursday, but things came up and we didn't do it on Thursday. And so we finished our painting. So I thought I'd show you our painting. Now, she wanted to give something to her brother. Her brother is a fly fisherman in Colorado. And he had a photograph that somebody had taken across the lake, the stream. I'm not really sure if it was a lake. It could have been a stream. And he was fly fishing. So this is our painting with him fly fishing. So I have to put it pretty far away for you to see the whole thing. And it's kind of hard to see the trees here, except for if you're in person. But I think he will like it. So this was mine because I paint and I show Mary what to do and she paints and then I show her some more and then she does it. So it was just fabulous and a good finish. She did a couple paintings for her sister this year too. She's given them at Christmas time. And thank you, Shelly, so much for that. And I'm just going to click on John because it looks like he got a dehydrator and a steamer. Cheap ones from Amazon. Been using like crazy, dehydrating cabbage right now. John, are you just doing green cabbage or are you doing purple cabbage too? Because I have always found that when I dehydrate purple cabbage, not the regular one, it tastes kind of like candy. The starches turn to sugar and it's very just munchable. So that is an interesting thing. And Sandra is in here and Charlene is in here. People are just popping in all over the place. So we finished that today. And I also drew up 9 canvases for her. She sent me some photographs and she wanted to be able to do some paintings when I was gone. And she said, I may be Zooming you or video chatting you if she gets stuck on different paintings. So she sent me the photographs. I took the photographs and I drew them on canvas. And so she has 9 paintings she can do over the winter when I'm gone. I said, that's only 1.5 a month. So we'll see what happens. Oh, Henry Leslie, Vermont, how are ya? Yes, I do believe fourth winter going south. I talked to a friend of mine that's down there. She's a Canadian, and they're down there for a little bit because they're actually selling their place. They just listed it. And she said it was just over 100 today. And my mom and dad get there tomorrow, and it's supposed to be 100 again. Oh, my dad's going to be going, I went too early. This is too hot. So that will be crazy. Oh, Kathy says, I love salted dehydrated cabbage like chips. Oh, so good. I love dehydrating. I just think it's fabulous. Angie, my oldest daughter, she dehydrated a bunch of peaches and she gave me peaches that were dehydrated. I'm taking them to Arizona. And you would not believe how many quart jars of pear juice I made over the last week. Nobody should have that many jars of pear juice. It was craziness. But we're going to take a few of them down. And the rest of them I'll just have when we get back. So, I mean, they're all completely canned. Oh, and Scotty is here. Hey, Scotty, how are ya? Carrie, how are ya? And the Angie girl is here. Hello. She says, hello, everybody. So, Angie, I was just talking about Grandma and Grandpa will be there in Arizona tomorrow, and it is supposed to be over 100. Oh, that's crazy. Terracotta neem tree. I dehydrated sourdough starter. That is amazing. I have bought sourdough starter before, and it was dehydrated, but I never knew anybody who actually did. I bought it from a company. That is so amazing. So amazing. Oh, Angie's making kimchi this week. I just gave all my kimchi away. I went over to Rapid City and I brought it over for Alicia and Grace. I do have a little teeny bit in my fridge. I'm going to have to give it to somebody. You know, it'll last a long time in your fridge. But, yep, I'm just going to have to give that to somebody else. Hi, Julie. Julie says to Angie, it's easier than it looks. Just be careful not to get chemical burn on your skin. Wear gloves. I never wore gloves when I made kimchi. Think I should have. I made some really spicy kimchi and I made some regular kimchi. So I don't know. Kathy says, will it work again when it is rehydrated? Yeah, it did for me. And she says works well. She's answering the question. Good. Shelly says that she should use her dehydrator more. I've been freeze drying bell peppers a lot lately. You had so many bell peppers. I saw that video or that picture and it was like, oh my gosh. I mean, some years I think I have a lot of peppers, but that was like massive amounts of peppers. Oh, see, there's a lot of people that have dehydrated sourdough starter too. It's convenient when you buy it from a company and it's dehydrated because it can come through the mail so easily. Fermentation is another good way to preserve food. So good for you. And that fermentation, that whole process it's just crazy the things that you can you can do. I have a couple really good books on fermentation and things that I would have never thought about that you could ferment. Angie says she has gotten chemical burns from jalapenos. I know that pain. I will glove up. Oh, and I don't know if you saw this. This is the painting that me and Mary finished today. Well, this one's mine, but it's of her brother fly fishing. And at first when I drew it as if he was right-handed. And Mary's looking at it, and she didn't tell me he was left-handed. She's looking at it, and she goes, you know what? I think my brother's left-handed. So then we had to rearrange the arms. So it was crazy. So she is answering yes, and save every drop from sourdough. Add a little warm water, shake the jar, and save the solution to hydrate. Perfect. Perfect. And Rebecca's just popped in. Hi, Rebecca. How are ya? If any of you guys live in Missouri, Rebecca is looking for a car. So if you know somebody that lives in Missouri that has a car that runs good and not a lot of money, she is the girl that needs one. So what else have I been doing today? I picked tomatoes. Now, these are some of my favorites. I like any accordion tomatoes. They make them in red. This is a red one. I have pink ones. They make yellowish orange ones. The flavor is just so good, but I love all these little ridges. This one's not as much ridges as some of them, but oh man, it's a very meaty tomato. And then look at this big honking one. It's not all the way ripe, but I thought, I'm just picking all my tomatoes today. I had a whole great big tray full of tomatoes, and I had processed tomatoes and dehydrated tomatoes, and then there was more tomatoes. And I was over at the community garden today, just checking it, because I pulled everything and put it cover crop, and I planted my garlic. I just wanted to check that everything was okay. Well, I left the Swiss chard, and one of my friends and I went over and we cut it again, and it needs cut again. So I'm going to have to tell her that she's just going to have to go over to my plot and take more Swiss chard. It's just crazy. Julie says, I'm left-handed, but do sport-like things with my right. Oh, you're ambidextrous. That is awesome. Angie says that she's going to try dehydrating kefir and mail it to me. Yes. I'm so excited. And Angie, I did get that box, and thanks for sending that with Leah. And she's just the sweetest thing. She was just so sweet when I went and picked that up. And Shelly's asking you about dehydrating kefir. So if you want to type something for her. It is a very special thing when you harvest is bountiful. I mean, I'm just so grateful. I gave so much stuff away from my garden this year. And then sometimes I'll think, I don't need to have a community garden. I'm giving 90% of my stuff away. But then I think, isn't it wonderful that I can give 90% of my stuff away? So it's all perspective. Hey. WD Glock and Roll, how are you? If you have not checked out his channel, he has a very interesting channel. I like it. And so make sure anybody that has channels in the chat, if you type channel, it will pop up your channel. Just don't type channel right after somebody else's, because it'll take the first person and you have to type it again. Julie says, I processed my last batch of tomatoes into chili. Got to keep coming up with ideas. I know it. There's just but I probably, the tomatoes I kept, probably 80% I dehydrated. And, I just wanted to be able to take them down. It's easy to take them down when they're dehydrated in Ziploc bags, and then I can use them all winter long. Oh, see? Channel. And then see how Nightbot will just pop up your channel. Oh, she said it didn't work. It did work. It's right here. Maybe just took a second before I did it. What do I plan to grow this winter in Arizona? Well, I have a few pumpkins that I'm going to grow. Swiss chard, of course, tomatoes, peppers. I like growing Chinese cabbage down there. There's a type that I can get at the nursery that makes these huge heads. And as it's growing, I'll be out in the garden. I'll just break off one of those, and it's so sweet. Now, when it gets all the way full mature, it's not as sweet. But if you pick that off while you're doing it, while it's growing, oh, it's just fabulous. I mean, just really wonderful. Shelly says that she has kombucha, water kefir, and milk kefir. I'm working on gut health. Oh, so important. It's amazing that if you can get your gut going the way it's supposed to, how everything else seems to fix itself. You know, our bodies are amazing, I tell you. Now, so I'm packing. I've had boxes for a while. A couple of weeks I've had some boxes, but I bought these new size boxes. So theoretically, they should have stacked too high. And in some parts of the back of the truck, they do. And then where our lid comes down, it goes like this and pops over, and then the next one pops over. Right at that ridge, they're too tall. But in between, they're perfect. So I have to adjust to get everything, you know. So, but I was playing today on boxes on what would work and what wouldn't work. We'll pack on Thursday, but it's crazy. Rebecca says, have you gotten Mary's address? Yes, I thought I had sent it to you. I will, here, just a minute, I'm writing it down. I will email it to you right after the live. Sorry, maybe I did something and didn't go through. Mary's address. Okay, cool. I will make sure that I do that right after the live stream. My dad grew some 2+ pound tomatoes. That is awesome. He isn't sure what kind they are, but I saved some of the seeds from them. Oh, dude, because you never know the fabulous tomatoes you can have for the rest of your life. I would have to agree with that we eat so much junk as a society. You know, I've stopped eating or using anything that has soy in it, soy oil, soy, anything. Because I read, and then I watched a doctor out of New York, and he was talking about, soy has always been an incomplete protein. Always. That's just the way it is. It's always been incomplete. Then they did a GMO soy, and that's what most people that are grow that. But it has a phytoestrogen compound in it that can really affect your brain. And I thought, I don't have to have soy in anything, So I just look at the labels, and if it has soy, I just don't buy that. I mean, we make most of our stuff anyway, but there are things you buy. And so if it says soy, I'm just not going to do it anymore. And like vegetable oil, when you buy vegetable oil, all it is soy most of the time. Sometimes it might have canola, or it might have sunflower in it too. I'm just not willing to do it. Angie says her love, that's her husband, has diverticulitis. And I started him on milk kefir 5 years ago. It probably was 5 years ago. He's been fine since I started it. I did tell Uncle Jimmy about that. And I told him how it had changed, how he was feeling. I said, you really need to take kefir every single day, drink it every single day. So we'll see if he does or not. Because my brother just had some issues. And well, hello there, Heidi. How are you? I'm having an amazing info source on the benefits of kefir. Oh, send that to me too. I think kefir is really good. And, even if you just bought kefir, it's not going to be as good as if you make it yourself. But at least you're having some. And so that is good. Herbs. Sorry, I didn't click that. Herbs can remedy conditions. Cayenne pepper is amazing. When every so often I start to get really cold, my fingers are cold, my feet are cold. I mean, like I'm cold all the time. And then I'll know I need some cayenne pepper. And so, I mean, I have caplets that I can just take and swallow. But if I just put a little bit in my shoes and then I put my socks in there, my socks with my feet, after about a day and a half, my fingers and my feet aren't cold anymore. So it's absorbing through the soles of my feet. And I just find that amazing. And Phyllis is here. Hello, how are you? And she is from Wyoming. Yes. He drinks it every single day. Like it's an ongoing thing that they make kefir all the time. It's amazing. And people are asking how everybody is. I agree. It can change your metabolism, make you gain weight. I saw how it affected a relative. She just kept you. I just was like, I was amazed. I started reading, I started researching on the effects of soy after I listened to that doctor, and I got a book that talked about it. And so it is just wow. Auntie is so funny. Milk kefir is disgusting. It is not disgusting. Just because Auntie doesn't like it. There's millions of people, Auntie, that like kefir. I like kefir. Erin likes kefir. That is so funny. This is a good suggestion. If you buy kefir, open it and leave it on the counter overnight. It helps build up more probiotics. That's an interesting idea. Thank you for that. And so we are just like, there's lots of conversations going on about kefir and probiotics and all that stuff. And that is fabulous. But I only got 8 minutes left and I got a list. I'm firing a few glass ornaments right now. They'll probably be done actually about midnight tonight. But I got these fabulously cute colored decals that are high fired, high temperature decals. And I've never bought from that company before, but they were just so adorable. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to try that. So if they work out on Fused Glass Artwork and More tomorrow, there will be a video. Oh, look at this. I am from Cornville, Arizona. Where are you moving to? We go to Yuma each year. And so that's why it's WY-AZ, because it used to be just Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, but now it's Wyoming, Arizona. But I do not know where Cornville, Arizona is. What part of the state is it? So that's just so exciting. People from Arizona. Oh, and she's got to go. I love your face too. And she's my oldest daughter. And Auntie, everybody's saying bye. Have a good week. She's a great daughter. I mean, seriously, a great daughter. She just had a birthday. Okay, what else am I doing? I did my last class with Mary. I showed you that. Oh, so we had to put the urban orchard to bed. So yesterday, different ones of us master gardeners and spouses went out and we weed whacked around the trees, and we have some vole problem out there in the urban orchard, which is at our park. And there was about 4 trees that you could really see the voles going in and out. In fact, one day I was there and the vole would come right up and look at me, and then it would go back down the hole. It made me so mad. Oh, north of Phoenix. Awesome. Awesome. We go to Phoenix sometimes. Anyway, I read, and I don't know if this is true or not, but it said to take juicy fruit gum, and it said juicy fruit was the only one that worked because they would eat juicy fruit, probably because it smells sweet. Oh, and she's so sweet. I would trade cold for warm anytime. Well, it is fabulous. I use milk kefir to make my biscuits instead of buttermilk. That is such a good idea. I'm going to use that if that's okay. I'm going to do that because I have some powdered kefir that I bought that I was going to take down to Arizona, but Andy's going to dehydrate me, which will be way better. And so I'm going to do that 10 miles from Cottonwood. Awesome. If I make it up there, I will let you know in one of my lives that I'm coming up. Okay. See, everybody thinks you're brilliant, Charlene. I love that idea because you're getting good things besides having great biscuits. So anyway, you take the juicy fruit. You don't have to chew it up. What we did was we broke the stick in half, rolled it up, and then just flung it down those holes. So the idea is that it will stop the voles because some of those trees we've had 5-6 years out of the urban orchard, their trunks are like this big around and they'll kill the tree, and I don't know if it'll work or not work. It's just something somebody said. We put worm castings around every single tree. I put eggshells around all the trees I take care of. But we just chopped everything down. All the grass, any weeds, all the flowers, we chopped those down and just laid them around the trees so that they could biodegrade. And so that was good. Oh, question. Has anyone dehydrated whipped cream? Now that's interesting. I think I would be careful of that. I think if I dehydrated it, I'd put them in Ziploc bags or vacuum seal them and put them in my freezer. Because things that have milk in them, even though they're dehydrated, it can be an issue. Just like powdered milk has milk actually in it. And so it's not shelf stable. After a while, it can go bad. And so I would put it in your freezer. And then you can hydrate it back and it should be okay, I would guess. Voles, I thought you said wolves. Wouldn't that be crazy? I couldn't figure out why gum would stop them. Yeah, that is, those little voles. One year we had voles in our front yard. And we did end up getting a smoker thing that makes them go away, But that spring, I literally could take my perennials that were in my front yard and lift them up, and they had eaten all of the roots and killed those plants. I mean, it was hundreds of dollars of damage they did. Now, out at the orchard, it would be thousands of dollars if those voles killed those trees. And so, I don't know. Oh, voles got into my potatoes and chewed on a few just enough to ruin the potatoes. I have heard that. I need to try the gum trick next year. And I don't know. That's just what we were told. That's what, sometimes you see and hear and people say things. It could be true and not be true. But I thought it doesn't cost very much money for juicy fruit gum. So I just thought it was worth a try. So am I done with my list? Packing. It's like a lot of P's. Packing, picking, painting. Yep. Tomorrow, if my ornaments turned out, that video will be up. I still haven't done my rice. And now I'm looking that I have a couple days left before we go. I have to open my bag of rice to make the rice. And I'm thinking maybe I should wait. I can put my rice back down in my pantry downstairs where it stays basically 55 degrees all the time. And just buy some rice down in Arizona and make, because I'm making vanilla bean rice pudding. So good. Yeah, I think it's true, you know. It's worth a try. You know, it costs you $1, some. Charlene, have a great night. Thank you very much. And she says, safe travels, Cindy and Joe. God bless everybody. So thank you for stopping in. And we're at 30 minutes anyway. There's just always so many different live streams. I always like to keep it at a half hour. It's completely dark outside. And it's 7 o'clock. I liked it when it was light till 9:30. But when we get to Arizona, it is about 45 minutes different in the sunlight. So if it would get dark at 7 o'clock here, it wouldn't get dark till 7:45 there. So I like that. So I'm going to let you go. If I don't figure out what to do with all these tomatoes before I leave, I'm going to have to give them away. I'll give them to my neighbors. They'll like them. Everybody, it has been a great season in Wyoming, and I appreciate you guys coming in on my different live streams. I won't have a live on Friday morning because we will be driving. And we're driving to one of our son's house in Colorado. We're going to spend the night there. We have people checking on our house. We have our neighbor boy. Will be his third winter of shoveling our sidewalk. And that reminds me, I got to go by his house tomorrow, and I pay him $100 up front, and I pay him $100 when I get back. And he always says that I pay him too much money. I said, one of these days, one of these winters, it's going to be a lot of snow, and that $200 is going to be worth it to you. The very first year he did it, it didn't hardly snow all winter. And I think he felt really guilty. They got $200 and didn't hardly have to do anything. So it was kind of funny. But he is a nice young man. And he's 2 houses down. And then we have our other friends that check on our house and everything. And we are very blessed to be able to help my parents in the wintertime and enjoy the warm weather. But I might do a pop-up live if we stop someplace on Friday and just say hi to everybody and tell you how the trip is going. But we will be there on Monday the 23rd. If everything goes as planned, God, our Lord willing, that everything goes as planned. And, oh, Debbie is here. Debbie, I'm just leaving because we are 33 minutes. But we will be zooming down to Arizona in just a couple days. But everybody have a great night. And I will see you next Tuesday, because our actually my internet is supposed to be on down there now. That's what they told me. Though we don't even have electricity turned on until Monday. But somebody could use our internet. My mom and dad could use our internet if they wanted to. Debbie is my friend. She has Cheyenne, Wyoming Urban Gardener. She is in Wyoming also. And we have had dinner together. She is a great gal. She knows lots of stuff about gardening. She's a new master gardener also. So check out her channel too, and all the other channels that are on the chat. But everybody, I got to go. I got so many things to do. My lists and lists and lists. And I only have a couple of days to do them. So thank you so much. I love you. And I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.